Ladies and gentlemen, there is something which should worry the united opposition. And I don't know how they're going to deal with it. Particularly Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and to some extent, Fred Matiang'i. I'm talking about the emergence of Edwin Sifuna's wave in the Republic of Kenya.
Nataka niseme I can feel the love, I can feel the support. Labda nyinyi mniangushe. Mimi siwezi kuangusha. Wanasema ati pesa itamwagwa. Wanasema pesa itamwagwa father. Sisi wale ambao tumezimama kwenye ule mlima na tumeona Canaan ndio ile pale. Hakuna pesa ambayo inaweza kuletwa kugeuza safari ya Canaan. Singapore hatuendi sisi. Sisi tunaenda Canaan. Mnanielewa? Mnanielewa? Mimi sitawaangusha, nyinyi msiniangushe. Tumesikizana na tunataka kuomba shirika la IEBC.
Kalonzo Musyoka was in Voi, and while in Voi, Kalonzo Musyoka was mentioning the leaders he was going to bring to Voi. Then the residents there, or the audience there, started singing Tunataka Sifuna. That should worry the united opposition.
Kuja pia bwana Fred Matiang'i wa chama cha Jubilee. Atakuja pia ndugu yangu Eugene Wamalwa, leader wa DAP Kenya. Atakuja Justin Muturi aliyekuwa Attorney General wa Kenya na waziri na hata na speaker. Atakuja pia Sifuna. Gen Z hai. Gen Z hai. Sifuna atakuja bila shaka. Sisi ni timu moja. Sisi ni wana one term. Si ni kweli? Wana one term hoye. Lakini kwa sasa kuna kazi muhimu anataka kusuluhisha ndani ya ODM. Ile ODM ya Raila na mimi tulianza ODM Kenya, tukagawanywa. Sasa hiyo nafanya tena hii. Megawanywa, kuna ODM imenunuliwa na Ruto. Lakini Sifuna wenzako wamekataa. Wakisuluhisha mambo hayo bila shaka tutaungana pamoja. Si ni kweli? Kwa hivyo asanteni sana na...
And if you want to understand why it should worry the united opposition, this post here by Pauline Njoroge, Sifuna hata Voi wanatambua. Pauline Njoroge is one of the supporters of Fred Matiang'i. And of late, Pauline Njoroge has been leaning more towards Edwin Sifuna, probably because of Nairobi's. But I don't want to talk about that right now. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys why the emergence or Edwin Sifuna's wave should worry the united opposition. Before I do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please just take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you this question. Do you think the opposition will unite and front a single candidate? I'm asking that question because if the opposition can unite, then they will easily send William Ruto home in 2027. But is it possible for them to unite? And if they were to unite, who will be the presidential candidate? Because already in the united opposition, we have Kalonzo and Matiang'i. Those are the only two people. Matiang'i is insisting that they must be subjected to scientific method to identify the candidate. Because according to Matiang'i and his handlers, if scientific method were to be used, then it's definitely going to win against Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. But Kalonzo Musyoka is also saying that for him, he must be on the ballot in 2027. Now, in the united opposition, they have that headache. Now we add the Sifuna Wave. Because I know for sure, based on the pressure Sifuna is getting, he's going to make serious political blunder if he were to decide to go back to the Senate. Going back to the Senate is something I'm 100% sure Sifuna is not going to do. He must either be a running mate or the presidential candidate. But now let us focus on our subject for today. Why the Sifuna Wave is a serious headache, which Kalonzo particularly should be planning how to deal with. Number one, the winning formation. You see, politics is a game of numbers. Do you think the united opposition, as it stands today, can win against Ruto? Or let me just reframe the question. Assuming we have the united opposition on one side and Edwin Sifuna on one side, or the Linda Wananchi on one side, which team do you think will win? The united opposition might not have the actual numbers. The actual numbers might be with the Linda Wananchi. And it's easy for Linda Wananchi to actually just come up with a winning formation. What they need to do is simply to appeal to Ndindi Nyoro to accept to be their running mate to Sifuna. So Sifuna becomes the presidential candidate, then he becomes the running mate. And then they front Babu for Nairobi. That's a formidable ticket that can even send William Ruto home. But the question is, where will that now then leave the united opposition? Because if Linda Wananchi is being demanded the way they are doing, it means their meetings are kind of irrelevant. So that's something which should worry them. Because if they were to join hands, I'm 100% sure that Linda Grounds will insist on becoming or producing the presidential candidate. Then Kalonzo or Matiang'i must be willing to accept the running mate. And that might not happen. It's going to create a lot of problem. In fact, it's even going to, I'm coming to that. Number two, Edwin Sifuna is under a lot of pressure to run for the presidency. And who is pushing for this? Two groups of people particularly. The young people, the Gen Zs, and Kenyans who want change. Now, Swali, if you look at the united opposition, do they represent the change? No. Can they carry the aspirations of the young people? Because let's give credit where it's due. Kalonzo Musyoka tried so hard not to stand on the line the Gen Zs were running. During the finance bill, he never supported it. And of course, up to now, he believes he can win the support of the Gen Zs. But now, if you were to give the Gen Zs a ballot paper today and tell them to pick between Sifuna and Kalonzo, who do you think they will be able to pick? What about people who are more focused on reforms? People are saying that Kenya needs a complete reset. And that reset cannot be Ruto. And if it cannot be Ruto, definitely it cannot be Kalonzo. If it cannot be Kalonzo, it cannot be Rigathi. So that group were pushing for Sifuna to run. They don't expect Sifuna to bolt out and push for any other candidate. And importantly, this Sifuna wave is causing serious fear in the united opposition. Take, for example, someone like Eugene Wamalwa, who was a potential running mate to Kalonzo Musyoka. Look at Fred Matiang'i, who was banking on the Western Alliance. So there is fear that this Edwin Sifuna wave is going to disrupt the plans. So someone like Eugene Wamalwa, someone like Natembeya, they're really in fear because Sifuna is coming with a wave which is sweeping their strongholds. And lastly, this emergence of Edwin Sifuna has the potential of creating a very strong third wave or third force. Now, assuming they will go like a, and lastly, this emergence of Edwin Sifuna's wave is actually creating a very strong third wave or third force. How is this significant? It would mean that in 2027, we're likely to have 3 presidential candidates being fronted by 3 serious coalitions. In that case, it will definitely mean that the united opposition and the Linda ground will be on the ballot. Will that be enough to stop Ruto? No. So which will mean, I know for sure, if all the 3 will be on the ballot, then they'll occasion a rerun. That's what Ruto is waiting for. In a rerun, after say Sifuna becomes number 2, or let's say Kalonzo becomes number 2, or even Ruto becomes number 2, Kalonzo number 1, it's going to be very difficult for now the opposition to unite. They can only unite before. They will vote. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.